Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to House of Mecca. Today we're going to be discussing contoured pants. Yes, we can contour pants, and contouring your pants gives you that nice look around your buttocks area. So when you're contouring pants, the only block that you need is the back, because that is where that's where your bum is actually, is at the back. So you need your back trouser block. Right here we have a trouser block. In case you do not have one, you can always purchase a basic block from House of Mecca, or you can purchase from anywhere, or you can just draft your own. We'll also do a video on drafting the basic foundation trouser block, the classic trouser block. Okay, now in contouring your pants, right, what I did here, how I divided it here, what you do first of all is you trace out the front, you trace out your pants block, the back pants block. You trace it out, marking all your major points. You have to mark your hip line, mark your crotch line, mark your knee line, and copy it out, right? And also be sure to mark your crease line or your grain line, whichever one you call it, and which is what I have done right here. So here I have traced my back trouser block. I traced it out separately, I separated them at the crease line, so that for better understanding, so that when I start drawing all my curves, you will have an understanding, but you do not have to separate it at the crease line. So the first thing you do is to transfer your waist dart, your back waist dart, to the crease line. You transfer your back waist dart to the crease line. So I have my dart length is 5 inches, about 13 centimeters. So I measure down 13 centimeters and mark it. And then my dart size is 1/2 inch. So I measure 1/2 inch right there, and then I connect it. So now I have transferred my lines. I do the same. I just mark for the front part of the crease line. I just mark where my dart point is, the end of my dart, 13 centimeters, right there. Okay, on the crotch line, you measure in 1/2 inch. That's what you do. On the crotch line, you measure it 1/2 inch on both sides. Half an inch, right? And then moving down to the end of your trousers, let me just move this paper down and up so that you can see. So moving down, you extend your hemline out on both sides, 1.5. I'm just going to mark it there, and 1.5, and I'll mark it here. On the part of the crease line, you measure down 1.5 centimeters or more, depending on how long you want your trouser to be. Let me just bring it up a little. So you measure it down 1.5, or you can make it 2, 3, depending on how long you want the flare to be. Because what we're going to do, we're creating a crease line flare for the bottom part of our pants. So that's 1.5 centimeters down. On the outer seam, you measure 0.5 centimeters down, and then you connect with a line, and then connect those lines to your knee. There. You do the same thing for the front part of the back pants. You measure out on both sides 1.5 inch on both sides. On the inseam, you measure down 0.5 inch. On the crease line, you measure down 1.5 inches, because that's what's going to join to the other part of the crease line. And then you connect the same to the knee line, to your knee. Yes, connect to the knee. Good. So now we're going back to create our contour for the buttocks parts. So right now, connecting the knee to the half point with a curve. We curve it inwards all the way to the hip line, and then you curve it outwards from that point to the dart point. You will notice that I have taken in just a little because of the curves. Curve it from there and then curve it out that way. And you do the same to the front part. From the dart point, I'm going to curve it out and then curve it in curves are very, very important when you are doing any form of construction, any form of pattern drafting. I like to call it construction because it's actually dress construction. It's like technical drawing. Great. So now we're done contouring the back of our pants block. But because we are also doing a crease line flare, we also did a crease line flare, we also have to flare the front part so that it can meet. So we're going to do that next. I've traced out the front trouser block. We have to do the modifications for the crease line flare. So you remember on the outer seam, on the hemline, we increased it by 1.5 inches on both sides, so that's 1.5 inches there, and that's another 1.5 inches there. And then both on the out seam and the inseam, we lowered it by 1/2 inch. So we're going to do that right here, by 1/2 inch. And we're going to connect it by blending it to the crease line. So we blend the crease line and connect to the knee point. Connect the line to the knee. So that is it for contouring the trouser block and adding a crease line flare.